Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to the Uranus Happens Show live here on Blog Talk Radio. Today is Sunday, June 12th. It's 9:30 a.m. I'm Ernesto. I'm your host, and I will be here. And I'm here with Veretta. Are you there on the line with me?
I'm here.
Okay, great. So we were just kind of talking about just before the show about how sometimes life throws you unexpected changes and you just kind of have to roll with it. So that's the whole concept of like a lot of why I decided to do this show as far as like a narrative is concerned, is because remember that nobody's ever in charge when it comes to these things. That our creator has a much bigger and better plan for us that we never saw coming, and we just kind of have to roll with that. Whenever we try to think that we're in charge and make those decisions, then that's when everything goes the wrong direction. So like, great example, when I was in college in my early 20s, I was really hell-bent on being a music major. I don't know why, but I thought I wanted to be a music teacher. And everything that came up in my education path along the way was just saying, sorry, you can't do this. Sorry, you can't do this. And I just kept pushing until the point I said, I'm just going to make this happen. I finally got into the program after a couple of years, and it was just an excruciatingly terrible experience. It was very frustrating. Aside from all of the turmoil that my mental health was in at that time, it just, everything that I was just doing, I just thought, why does my life suck so badly? And it was just very simply because, those things, like me being a music teacher, that just wasn't cut out for me. And so to this day, I've decided, well, you know what, you're good at the piano, so let's just stick with that. Stick with what you know, right? And that's just a hobby to me. It's not something I want to do professionally. I tried that a few years ago when I auditioned for a talent show. But, I'm like ratings cancer. I'm a very boring contestant to watch, and I get that. So what I'm getting at here is that, you just kind of have to do whatever is in front of you, whether you like it or not, and don't try to fight it, because the more you fight it, the harder life is going to get. I guarantee you.
Yep, that's exactly right. And just because, and in my case, you have to live every day in the moment to be kind of successful at being at peace and not being worried about what's in front of you or what's behind you or what's going on beside you. And so when I have things occur to me or with me or about me that like, okay, not only did I not see that coming because I didn't want to look or I didn't want to see, I don't want it to. I don't, that's not my choice. That's not my popular vote. But when you also remember that everything happens for a reason, whether you want it to or not, it is on you then to make the best of it. You can kick and scream and drag your feet and throw yourself on the ground and hold your breath until you blew. But the fact is that's not going to change the situation. That's just you being very immature and not understanding that, yes, your life is about you. Yes, you have free will, but there are things already in place that you may not know about nor want. And so I'm in a position every once in a while of remembering or reminding myself, okay, well, yeah, no, why? Why is this happening? And when I take that approach and look for the why, then things start to show up that I can recognize and be okay with. And say, all right, now that's something I can grab and get with the program. I get why I'm here. I get why that's that. And I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to whine and waste all my life and everybody else is listening to me on my pity pot. I'm just going to do what I need to do to make the best of it. And then it becomes okay. Very quickly after that, it becomes okay.
It really does. It always works itself out in the end. Just remember that just follow what your intuition says. Your intuition is usually never wrong, and a lot of people don't know how to listen to that. But, if you follow your gut instincts throughout life, you're going to be okay for the most part.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So we're going to get off to the phone lines here. We're going to catch up with Erica from area code 509. It's been a while since we've had you on the show. Erica, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great.
Good morning.
Good morning. I had some data loss. So may I have your name and may I have your date of birth again and your time?
Yes, it's December 4, 1993 at 12:05 p.m.
Okay, and where were you born?
It's pretty long. It's called Planta de Bas in Mexico.
Okay, what state in Mexico is that?
Let me check. I'm not even sure.
I think they have more states than what we do in the U.S.
So, I mean, I don't really know how to tell.
Well,
What part of
Do you want me to?
what city was it again?
It's Planta. It's
spell it?
TLA
Mm-hmm.
MEPANTLA space DE space BAZ. Planta de Bas. So it's T as in Tom, L as in Louisiana, A as in Apple, L as in Louisiana, N as in No, E as in Echo, P as in Peter, A as in Apple, N as in No, T as in Turtle, L as in Louisiana, A as in Apple. Planta, space, D as in Diego, E as in Echo, space,
I got it.
B as in, you got it?
It's right next to it's right next to Mexico City. Use Mexico City.
Okay, all right. So let me see here.
It's north of Mexico City. It's a little suburb.
Okay, we'll go with that then. And then, got it, perfect. And did you have a specific question for us, Erica, or do you just want a general reading today?
A general is fine.
Okay, all right, great.
Okay. All right. So let me just start out by calling you on that. You know, there's something specific you want to know, and this is either yeah. I hear you laughing. So you may not want to state it as such. So I would tell you just get as general as possible, and I'll help you as much as I can. But okay, so the first thing I get is I feel like this is a person base. This is about a person. And I feel, or people, and I feel like you're wanting a yes or no. And the feeling is also, would it generate more to come with this individual? So the feeling I get around this immediately is, you got people in spirit that are looking after you. So I want to tell you right now, you're not alone. You've got someone looking down, or you've got folks in spirit looking down on you, just wanting to say, hey, baby, it's going to be okay. Even though you're feeling alone, even though it doesn't feel okay, it will pass. Just give it some time. Now I want to get back to the world of the living. The world of the living and the individual that you may be processing information about is, I don't want to be blunt and say, no, that's never going to happen. I want to say, yes, it's going to be okay, but no, not the way you want. All right? Mm-hmm. They may never really reciprocate or come back to you wholeheartedly or whatever, but I feel like they'll be in your life. They'll be around, or they'll be someone that, you're still aware of on a regular basis. I also want to tell you that there's something or someone else, when you let go of this individual or let go of the ideology of what was, there's someone else that will most definitely take their place. So hang in there with that, sweetheart. And it's okay to ask those things. No, you're not being silly wanting to know. It's okay to want to know when my heart is going to heal, because right now it's sitting in front of me on a plate and I'm about to stab it with a fork because it hurts so bad. So it's all right to feel the way you're feeling, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ernesto, can you give her any kind of more on that?
Sure. So Erica, it sounds like that you may have had like some breakup stuff that's going on recently. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So let me take a look for like some healing formulas. So that's something that we would want to know is like, when do you get over this? So like Jupiter, Pluto, Poseidon equals Hades is the healing process. So, and that would be to recover from a health problem, but it's just, also the healing process in general equals Sun Hades is what we're looking for. So if we look at like that midpoint, and Jupiter, Pluto in general is going to be a sign of, really nice change. That's like a lot of the positive stuff that we want to look at. So let's take a look at that one here for you. We have it coming here and there and there. And then so 74, 34. And then we have, we'll say that, wrong color. And then, oh, okay, all right, great. We got Jupiter up in the transits, and we have Pluto out here in the transits also. So, taking a look at this, I think that the time for you to be feeling better about, whatever BS just went down, the time is coming up here pretty soon. I want to say by the end of summer, you're going to be fully over it and your heart is healed and you're ready to move on. My advice to you is, really just kind of get out there, do something to take your mind off of it. I think sort of what's going on here is that, you're kind of left to your devices, or perhaps, life just gets kind of slow sometimes in whatever regard that may refer to. And then you start thinking about this and that and the other. It's kind of like, this person that I used to be friends with, it's a fleeting thought every now and then. Not even, I can even go a few days without thinking about this person, but it triggered this awful fear of missing out. And then I realized that I was secretly dating a closet case and I didn't know it. And maybe I missed out on a relationship that may have been important or that I wanted. But then when I look back on it, I say, this person could never give me what I wanted. So I'm just kind of over it. And that's where I had to look internally, was that I realized that, so what I'm thinking that I'm deluding myself into believing that I need is, it's all just a want, if anything else. And that if I think about my needs and what I need as a human being, this other person could never fulfill that for me. So I was just able to let that go with that information, knowing that especially when you look at the astrology of the two charts, that you see the keywords that come up are like disappointment from, misfortune from, like not great things. So this isn't the type of person that I'd really want to invite back into my life. And I think that for you, what's happening is just that you have this energy of where you're just feeling stuck, and the stuck energy is because, like you just don't know what to make out of it, or you don't know what to do with yourself, or, perhaps there's some other changes that are happening in your life that you're not really too sure if you like them or if they're well suited for you. Well, I'm going to tell you now that they are. So whatever it is that you're being presented with that's showing a new direction in life to you, or new activities, or new people, do those things. Don't fight it, because I get the sense that you are fighting it, and that's kind of what's causing this all to be slowed down so badly. And you're not really liking the result much yourself. Is that making sense?
Yes. I recently just broke up with my boyfriend because I just don't feel like, I feel like I'm growing, in the sense of we're going in different directions. So what's the point? I feel like we're just different, and I just think it's best that way, that I pursue what I want to do, and he can do the same. But I was with a lady when she was talking. I was going to ask her about this, and I did think it was everything she said just makes sense, and I did think it was kind of a dumb question. There's this guy, his name is Chris, at the laundromat, and he's super sweet. Like, I just love his energy, in the sense that he's so kind, and even to towards my grandma and every customer there, he's super kind. And I was just gonna be like, oh, we should go on I went wine tasting recently, or something like that. Like, we should just hang out. Like, I like your energy, I was gonna say, but I don't know. Usually I don't do that because I'm scared. Like, oh, what if he says no or whatever. But I think that sometimes
go
Mhm.
for it, girlfriend. Go for it,
Oh,
girlfriend.
sometimes we just
Now,
need to jump.
yeah,
Mhm.
what? That's exactly right. When you're presented with something that you're not typically predisposed to do, and all of a sudden your brain is like, I wonder if, I want da-da-da-da, then you got to know Spirit's giving you, they're ringing your bell a little bit. They're giving you a little, hey, heads up, you may be missing something here that you wouldn't think that you're normally capable of trying to do. So listen to that intuition, because honestly, it's trying to coax you out of your shell to open up to new people. Now, is he going to be the partner for happily ever after? Maybe not. But you know what? There's a point to him with you. So go for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Erica, I just wanted to add that, about this other person, I don't have their chart, and that's really sort of what I would need to look at whether or not it's going to work out. But what I can tell from your chart is the fact that, like you have these things that you're just kind of like hesitating on, and you're not really too sure about. But when it comes to the language of spirit, and when messages are trying to be relayed to you from the other side, they're always, what you do not expect. Like I had an experience very recently where, this ideal partner I had fixated on in my mind for like the past 2 years, and I was imagining what this person looked like and what that life was going to be like and all of this. But then the actual person who I think I'm supposed to be with, they just kind of came out of the blue, and I just thought, oh, I've never thought about that before. That's interesting. But I could see myself doing this a lot more than this other mental stuff that I've been concocting for 2 years. So when I saw this other person, I was like, oh, this is not the type of person I would have normally picked, asked for. But the real kicker was the fact that they approached me and they said, do I know you from someplace? That is the oldest pickup line in the book. And my social skills are trash. So the fact that somebody would use something like this to get my attention, that's sort of like that's me figuring out and saying, so yeah, somebody's trying to get you to pay attention, and you got to do that. So if your instincts are telling you about this Chris guy that, that things are really great and you want to know what that energy is all about, but that's something that you're not normally into, but it still feels really great, then those are the types of messages that feel quite authentic, for the lack of a better term. So when it comes to assessing your gut instincts, that's the type of thing that I would jump on. And also, if we look at that Jupiter-Pluto, that midpoint here in your chart, we see that you have this Mars Chronos here in the transit. Now that Mars is going to move a lot faster because that's one of our inner planets, but the Chronos piece to it, that's, a piece about excellence, about mastery, about being the very best. So the fact that you have that energy coming in to this midpoint, if we look at the actual rule book of what this is referring to, then I can even show you here. Let me just make that go away. So this would be fortunate development of one's abilities. Examinations are successfully passed, a pleasant change in government or of the chief, and successful end of an apprenticeship. So those are some of the manifestations, but just in a general sense, when it comes to Jupiter Pluto about positive changes, it's going to be an excellent change. It'll be a masterful change. It'll be, the very best change that you could possibly hope for. So I like to see that here, and I think that you're headed in the right direction. Just remember, when it doesn't feel right, to walk away from it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I thank you for the message. I think I will go for it. He's kind of like shabby and not, like he kind of looks homeless, but he's very hardworking. Not somebody that I would normally say hi to, but I don't know. I think he just seems like I said, he has a really good energy, and I would like to get to know him a little bit, and even without expectations,
That's perfect.
So I think
perfect.
that's, what if he turns out to be 20? I don't know.
Then, like I said,
that's why
right, but there's a point to it. So what if he turns out to be the guy that actually introduces you to the love of your life? You don't know what the stepping stone or the halfway point or the the point to it is until you get into it and see. So missing out on it would be the worst part of the scenario versus trying to encounter him and establish a relationship and having that be not what you want it to be. At least you tried. At least you tried. So go for it.
Okay.
Awesome. And let us know how it turns out.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks a lot. Take care, and until next time.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. Okay, so we are going to get off to area code 256. And just before we do that, just a quick PSA to everybody who's on the line. Remember that if you go over to eastrologer.net and use the feedback form for free live Uranian astrology readings, then you will enter yourself to be in the raffle for a free Spirit Circle pass. We'll be doing that drawing in a couple weeks here on the 22nd when we do our event. But just to be upfront, we haven't had a lot of entries. I guess everybody's just too busy to leave us some feedback, but it does get you into the pool is pretty small. Your odds are pretty great, actually, if you just put in for it. So I would just do that. And it's always great to hear back from everybody to see how we're doing here on the show. So with that in mind, we're going to get off to area code 256 now. You are live on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Yes, my name is Kimberly. My date of birth is November 5th, 1970.
And what time were you born?
I was born at 8:02 a.m.
Where were you born?
Talladega, that's Talladega, Alabama.
Got it. Okay. And do you have a specific question, Kimberly, or do you just want a general reading?
Just give me a general reading.
Okay, great. All right, got it.
All right. Okay, Kimberly, let's see what you got going on. All right. Well, nothing flies out at me like a hornet's nest. So I would say one of the things that I see is a lot of status quo going on. However, you do have change, and you do have change. And very recently, you either have notice or you had an inkling it was going to come. So I want to tell you, it's going to come quickly. Once it hits ground, catches head, and keeps going, it's going to happen quickly. And it may catch you off guard, or it may come in a moment where you think, oh, wait, not now. I'm not kind of ready for this. Or, wait, I didn't have time to change everything that I was going to change to put this in place. So just kind of know that if you're feeling it or you're knowing it, that I'm validating that it's coming. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that is what, and this may be work related, or it's definitely got quite a bit of activity. That's kind of why I'm thinking maybe I'm feeling it work related, because I'm seeing you have to hustle your bustle to make it work, to make it fit, to get it to happen. So if it's not a full-time job, it may be a little bit of side hustle or something that you're trying to do discriminately on the side. And so what I'm saying is, yeah, it's going to take place. So don't worry about it, but just know that when that comes, everything else is going to go to the side, because you're going to have to hurry and either catch up or prepare yourself for what's to come. I feel like it may generate a lot more ripple effect, like what starts out as a side or a temporary or just a right now kind of thing may end up actually being permanently in place after a while. So I think this, even though it was a slow transition or slow to come, you're still in status quo energy. For me, that means that everything's just going to kind of stay the same around you in a lot of areas, in a lot of ways. But this one thing is going to catch up to you, and it'll catch up to you when it comes. It'll catch up to you quickly, and you'll have to kind of make up for lost time, or throw everything else out the window to make sure it gets done. Is happening. Do you have an idea already of what's coming up?
Well, I just transitioned out of teaching, and I'm getting a certification in instructional design and e-learning. So I'll have my certification this month. So I'll be going into a different field.
Okay. All right. So you'll most likely get a lot of response from whatever you put out online, or however, you want to see if somebody will headhunt you. The reality of it is whatever it is, it will happen quickly. So for sure, if that's the direction where income is concerned, Maybe Ernesto can maybe pop up and give you a little bit more info about that.
Sure, yeah. So Kimberly,
Okay.
are you going through some like relationship turmoil that's just sort of clearing up right now?
Yes, it's definitely clearing up. I'm healing from a breakup.
Yeah, because I get a strong sense, that you have like some breakup energy that's going on here. And that's finally coming to a close, where you're just sort of over it and ready to move on. Um and I think that the breakup was kind of hard, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, this was not pleasant. This is like, to feel imprisoned almost. That like, that something is just not right, and the your personal emotions are being compromised on the regular, all of that kind of terrible stuff. But now you're using that energy in a positive way to create some change, and I think that's going to have to do with the job, as Veretta stated. And I see you working for like a telecommunications company or some other bigger type of company that that does outsourcing for other educational groups or companies like that. So I see you working in a big office setting, and like there's a project of the week or the month, or like however they break that down. So like if you can get yourself into like corporate educational design, or even doing that for private companies and their own training, then that would be another way that you could do it. Like training would be one way of looking at it, I guess. But not to be a trainer
Mhm.
so much. It's more to just design the content. So I'm not really
Right.
sure how you're going to find those types of positions, what keywords you would use, but that's going to be where you're going to find your best success with the job. And then, because, you just went through that breakup energy that was kind of really ugly. I just have to mention this too, that remember that whatever job that you go into, there's always a little bit of a learning curve, and you're probably going to go through a little bit more workplace malice than what the average person would, and that's just, being the new person, and people are curious and rude and horrible and that kind of stuff. But don't let it get to you. Just shake it off your back. It'll go away, and it really will. It won't last for very long. But just don't feel so beat up or discouraged by this whole process. You are coming into some really powerful change here, and I think you're really going to like the direction you're heading. Just don't let it get to you, is going to be the thing. And more importantly, don't get angry about it. Like I know for me, when I get upset, when it comes to IT matters that I'm not good at, I just want to start throwing things, and that doesn't really do a whole lot for me. And it's probably not a great idea to let my blood boil, because I'm predisposed to clotting and hemorrhaging anyway. So my thing to you is, like just when you get mad, take a deep breath. It'll go away. This too shall pass. But you are the educational stuff. Look for big companies that are doing outsourcing. That's going to be where you're going to find your money, because let's be real. And if in another year or two here, only companies are going to have money in the world. Like consumers like you and I are really going to struggle to survive. So when it comes to making a paycheck and keeping a roof over our heads, we really want to do everything we can to make sure that those companies are paying our bills. Make the companies work for us. That's where we're going to have to start getting.
Right. And I've actually I have someone working on my resume when you said keyword. So I have someone that's working with me because she actually worked for LinkedIn. So she's helping me with that, because that's exactly what I told her. I wanted to work for a large company or a university.
Yeah, and it's coming up, and I think that those opportunities will be relatively soon. We can break that down more in our spirit circle, but like from what I can see here, I want to say that by the end of the year, you'll be into something that you're really gonna like. You're really gonna like this job. Wow, this is like the job that you didn't know you wanted, but is the job that is gonna really be a nice culmination of all of your skill set. So that way, you don't. So it feels like it's amounting to something.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you both very much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate.
Yeah, it was great to have you on the show. Be sure to go over to my website and leave us a review. That does get you into the drawing for the raffle.
I'm going to do that now. Thank you.
All right, thanks a
You
lot.
all
Until
have
next
a
time.
great day.
Thanks. Take care. Until
All
next
right.
time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, then. Great. So we are going to get off to area code 415 here. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hello, this is Anne.
Okay, got it. And what is your date of birth?
9/22/67.
And at what time were you born?
I just found that out actually recently. I finally found it. 4:15 p.m.
4:15 p.m. Okay. And where were you born?
Seattle, Washington.
Okay. And do you have a general question about a specific issue, or do you would just like a general reading?
I recently moved, and I'm kind of settled now, but I need work, and I don't want just work. I want something different than to enjoy it more, something more deeper to what I want to do. Not what I did really before COVID.
So am I hearing you ask for what direction you want to go into, or when you're going to get it?
Not a timeline, but more about direction and how to get something that's closer to my heart.
Okay. Okay, so what I hear when I open up that window and ask about that specific question you just stated, closer to your heart, you are let's see what I want to say. You're maybe lacking a little bit of the energy that it would take you to find out really who you are. One of the things you know is that you'd like to incorporate your spiritual approach into your work environment so you can be more authentic all the time and less one foot in this world and one foot in that world, because you can't be status quo in both all the time.
Right.
So one of the things I'm hearing is you may need to branch out into a life or a world that you're a little less familiar, and that may take some training, some coaching, some, hope that you can make it okay in this, because metaphysics and the world that evolves in it has many facets. And, there are people that pretend to know, and then there are people that know, and then there's this whole subculture of stuff that just really doesn't matter. And people are very proficient in that subculture of it just really doesn't matter. You may actually work well starting in the subculture and working over to a true spiritual approach to who you are. Yeah. Now, I use the word metaphysics because you are definitely healer material. And whether you know how to run energy or know how to utilize that appropriately, I feel like but you also love to teach. You are a teacher at heart. You like to share, you like to tell, you want people to know what they can do to better themselves. That indeed is a form of healing, except you're to a place of really not wanting to walk through the fire with folks. Healers come from the heart. They'll take you by the hand and they'll walk through the fire with you until they know you're going to be okay. Teachers take a little bit of a different approach. It comes from the throat. It comes from communication. It comes from, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. I'm going to give you all the tools that I know will work, but you're going to walk through the fire by yourself. I'm done burning my feet. And you're really to that place of knowing there's so much information that can be shared, you just don't know how to. So get yourself into some circles. Start learning to teach meditation. Start sitting in meditation. Start finding the people that want to teach other teachers. So, their group is bigger. And then they also know that they're making the biggest bang for their buck because, again, they either never were healers in the boot of I'll walk through the fire with you, or they come past that point of saying, okay, my feet are so singed, I can't do this anymore, but I do want to continue to help. So I'm going to do it from the teacher's mode. And once you find that individual that can help you understand who you are, what you're made of, and really how much of a powerhouse because of the things you know, because of what you've experienced, then you'll know what direction to take your energy work. So when I look at teachers that are energy healers, they're usually cerebral. They usually want to do psychology, counseling, life coach. I don't even know if they do life coach anymore, but those are the things that people, when they're really wanting to help others, but know that, you know, just doing it for them isn't really, that doesn't always work. And sometimes it really just doesn't matter. A healer that will walk through the fire with you is a target for those that don't want to promote themselves. They don't want to help themselves. They don't really want to heal. They just want someone to pay 100% individual attention to them, and therefore they're a perpetual victim, because that's the only way they can keep a healer online. So you don't want to carry people. You don't want to, you want to help, absolutely. You want to make a difference and you want to make life better, but you don't want to do it for them, and that's okay. So find what resonates to you that will lead you. Start maybe doing a little affirmation every day, because it takes work on your part. You know, it's not just about, oh, well, I intend this, so therefore it should happen. No, that's not the way it works. You've got to do a little bit of work. Start placing affirmations in the morning. I want to find the teacher that will get me started in the direction I need to know. Or if that's, you know, and it doesn't mean you have to go out and pound the pavement every day. It just means that you have to resonate with the level that they can find you. So you can look online. You know, you can start, like I said, trying to participate in circles or groups or whatever. And you can do it on Zoom. They're having a lot of that stuff on Zoom now for video. And start looking and start intending that you get that person's attention that you can, that you know will help you get to the next level. You do great with kids, but I feel like
that's funny. I was going to say that kids and animals. I'm good at healing, calming animals, and I want to work kids. I love creativity, and I think a lot of adults shut off their creativity pretty young.
Okay, so this is one thing that I would suggest you do. Research how to do, I don't even know what they call it now, but I used to do a course where I would have kids sit with all kinds of craft material, paint, crayons, ink, whatever glitter, glue, everything that you can imagine. And I would tell them, we would do a short little 7-minute meditation. Basically, I would just talk them through how to close their eyes and go within and see the pictures in their head. And then when they opened their eyes, I would tell them, create whatever it is you just saw. And then I branched it out and took it to adult drawing with spirit. And wow, that was phenomenal, the results that the adults produced. But that may be one way for you to start doing a very, fun, crafty, light, hands-on kind of thing where, again, you can do it on video, just tell the folks what needs to be, what material is required, and time lot, and do what you can do. Now, hopefully maybe Ernesto can give you a lot more on that, and we'll let him see what he can bring up.
Yeah, so Anne, are you still in the Seattle area?
No, I'm in Southwest.
Okay, all right, got it. So, what I'm looking at here, I 100% agree with what Beretta is saying as far as the art, for children and that sort of thing. And here's why, because one of the things that we do in Uranian Astrology that makes us unique is that we do this data sort. So this is all of the stuff that speaks to your soul, these are all things that are true about you as a person. Now, every single, combination up here, this all corresponds to a particular question or a theme in your life. So, we use rule books to break that all down. So I want to draw your attention here for a second to this stuff here. I'll put a green box over it. And this is going to be this Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, and with Neptune. So you have all of that there. Now, on one end of it, if we're going to talk very practically, if you called in the show about like, Ernesto, I'm having a midlife crisis and I need to point myself in a new direction. And I also need to have a job by the end of next month or I may be homeless before I know it. If that was the conversation that we're having, I would actually probably point you in the direction of real estate. That's something that you would probably do very well at.
Of what?
Real estate.
Oh, the
So
people end of it, business end of it, I do not like. But yeah, I can connect with people very quickly and make them feel at ease. Yeah.
So on one end of it, we have like something like real estate, but because you're not too predisposed to the people per se, but you like children, and that Mercury energy definitely deals with youth. Then we have to reshape the definitions of the other planets based on that info, and then like that was so Saturn is responsibility, Neptune is creativity, Jupiter is to have a good time. So these are all things that you're good at, and also when we look down here a little bit further, we have Saturn Saturn Cupido, Saturn Poseidon. So Cupido is going to deal with groups. Saturn Poseidon is to be a teacher, to be a model, a role model. Like those are gonna be those energies. So then further, you've got this Neptune Chronos right below it, and this is gonna speak to excellence in spirit. The whole thing that she was saying about doing like a meditation and then creating drawing the pictures inside your mind, those types of activities, those are going to be successful for you. So, I very much agree. And if you're you're in a region where, you can make or create a meetup or something like that, and now Zoom, which is really great. Like I know in the Phoenix Screenwriters Association, which I used to attend, that we would have people from all over the country who would show up with their work because we could do that, and it's really nice. And when you're doing something super specialized like that, you can really help to get yourself out there. And so use like Facebook groups, use Reddit, use all of that kind of stuff to your advantage, as basically like free marketing or promotion to get more interest in what you're doing. So I agree that you as like an art teacher, a spiritual art teacher of sorts, that's something that you would do quite well at.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I would. I found during COVID, cosmic.
Hello? Did I lose
I
everybody?
think we lost her.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, Anne, I'm so sorry we lost you here, or else you hit your phone on mute by accident. But we'll have to catch it. But be sure to go. Hello?
Yeah. What is your? I didn't catch your name. I just called in and just picked up quickly, so I didn't catch.
Sure. My name's
your
Ernesto.
contact.
Yeah, it's and I'm at eastrologer.net. It's in the show description on BTR. And Veretta is verettavision.com. That's her website.
Great. Thank you so much. That was great. I'll keep listening.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Thank
and
you,
then,
Ann.
remember that we are having a spirit circle on the 22nd. So that's kind of like you get a mini private reading in a semi-private forum. And it's really great.
Okay.
So that'll be coming up here on the 22nd, and that'll be $50. And if you enter yourself into the raffle by giving us some feedback, that does get you into the drawing for a free Spirit Circle pass.
Great. Sounds good. That's a good deal.
Well, it was great to have you, Ann, and we'll catch up with you soon. Let us know how it turns out.
Okay, sure will.
Take care, and until next time. Okay, then. So we are going to get off to Lisa here from area code 860. Hello, Lisa. Are you on the line with me?
Yes. Hi. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, you've called us, but it was a while ago. So may I have your date of birth again?
January 26, 1959, 2:40 in the afternoon.
Okay. And where were you born?
Where? Hartford, Connecticut?
Okay. And you're in Bridgeport now, right? Or something like that?
No, I'm in Newington, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. Perfect. So, and did you have a specific question, or you just want a general reading today?
General is wonderful.
Great, got it. Veretta?
All right, Lisa. Let's see what we got for you. Okay, so, when I pick up energy, I'm feeling like, you really don't have trouble, but you've got things that are unsettled, and maybe you'd like to know a little bit of if or when that's going to stop. And so when I'm looking at the unsettled, and there's multiple facets here. It's not just one direction that's contained in. But I can definitely say that 99% of what feels unsettled to you will eventually transition into something else. And you won't, always have to deal with that type of situation. However, the 1% that's left is something that only you can do something about. Or let me rephrase that, can be done different or can be done with by you. And if that's not something that you are really wanting to put the energy to make that change happen, then that 1% will continue to be with you. Now, on a side note, if that 1% also pertains to something that you would think, I don't really want it to quit, and that's probably what I'm worried about, is that then I'm going to say, no, it's not going to quit. You're going to have that unrest always. It's not going anywhere until whatever it is that happens that literally takes it off the planet. So if you're worried about things staying the same that aren't happy, that'll pass. If you're worried about that one unhappy thing changing, and even though you don't want it to, it won't change. It's going to hang in there with you. There'll be things about self, you personally, your physical self, that you'll have to manage and do better about. And those may have already popped up, maybe not. But the reality of it is your priorities over time will change. And the things that are unsettled around you right now really are going to take a backseat to what you're going to have to put some energy into and do something about. And that'll be your health. That'll be your physical sense of well-being. So you've got status quo, you've got not yet to come, and you've got that's never going to go away unless you do something about it or you do something to make it different. And now, having said all of that, does that resonate? And do you have at least one direction that Ernesto can take that and run with?
I think the 1% is a very bad marriage.
Yeah, I thought so too. Me too. So, Ernesto, can you give her something about that?
About the 1%?
Yeah.
Okay, now, Lisa, what I'm getting is that, are there some health issues going on for you right now?
I have a lot. I've got 6 autoimmune diseases and primary immune deficiency.
Yeah. Okay.
And would you agree that your health condition right now is just sort of like it's consuming almost everything, more so than what it ever has before?
I was coasting, found lots of natural things to help me, and now I'm falling apart because of the stress in the house.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and do you have any other loved ones or pets that are also sick with you in the household?
My dog has been sick. She's doing better. I've gotten her help. It's a puppy that came to us very sick.
Okay. All right. I just get the sense, Lisa, that, the big thing for you right now is, how are your kidneys doing? I'm just curious.
I haven't had them checked. The treatment that I take every week, the IV, could affect my kidneys in an ill way.
Okay, because when I look at this midpoint of your solar arc sun, which is this red Aries, the red Aries point in the second ring of information. If we take the midpoint of both of these here that you'll see on my screen, we see that you've got this Jupiter Kronos that's falling on the red arrow, And then also here at this neutral point, you have that green arrow that's just kind of saying that those energies are the same right now. So when you combine it with where we were at before, which was about here, the fact that you have Venus that's coming to Sun, Hades, Neptune, that's usually going to be a signature for like some type of kidney distress. So that's why I'm saying, you really might want to have that looked at right now. That may be some lab testing that you may want to do. I think that your biggest problem right now is really just your health issues, and that you're like you say, you're falling back downhill, and you were doing okay, but it's kind of taken a turn for the worse again. And I do think it'll get better, but I think that a lot of it is because of the fact that, you're just not receiving the level of care that you should be receiving right now, quite simply. That, like there's so much medical gaslighting that happens in the world, and that people don't want to do their job because they're burnouts. So, you really have to be a dragon or an advocate for yourself when it comes to these matters, and I'm sure you're very aware of this. But I just feel like that, the care that you're getting just could be a little bit more improved. And that's one of the reasons why, you're not doing so great, is because, maybe it's not the right questions that are being asked, or the right medications, or, the right disease that's being treated. That, there's some missing piece to the puzzle that hasn't been discovered yet. And that's coming up. But, my advice to you is, that, just take your mind off of it. What are you doing to relax and de-stress and take care of yourself these days?
Nothing.
Okay, and there's where I think a lot of the distress begins is, even like reading a book, watching a scripted TV series that you like, going for a walk, doing something to get out of, the mental space of my life is in shambles and everything sucks. That this is kind of what's doing that to you. So, if there's any way that, you can just incorporate more of that self-care activity, as mundane as it may seem, or as difficult as it is to integrate into your normal lifestyle or personal schedule, making those changes, that's going to do a lot. So where, to redirect the energy focus that's going on with some of these health issues, so they're not so distressing.
You probably also would really benefit, and you'll hear Ernesto promote it frequently, but honey, you need some one-on-one, and I feel like it would benefit greatly from our spirit circle to get a little bit more information specifically about how to take those steps to break the cycle of being oppressed constantly and under someone else's thumb. Because there are ways you can do that, even in those situations, okay? So if you can, go ahead and jump on our spirit circle and see what you can get, because I've got an hour's worth of things, I'm sure, that I can do to help you, keep from coming totally undone.
You are so amazing. You hit so many nails on the head. But I don't want to hear about a kidney thing bad, because that's the only organ in my body that does work. Most of them are gone.
Well, so what he's picking up astrology-wise is the fact that most likely, because they are the only thing that's working fine right now, you're under the gun to keep them that way. You're under the gun to make sure they continue to maintain their optimal health, because they will start to fail. Everything else in your body is screaming at you that your life has to change. And at some point, they won't be able to carry it all anymore. But even at that, I think just a few simple steps of decompressing that pent-up toxic energy that you live in constantly will help change your physical stress.
Yes, and I just wanted to add to that. Lisa, you really benefit from cutting out the gangrenous wound, and any and all abusive toxicity that you have in your life. Make that go away. Take whatever massive strides you need to make that just cut out, because that's actually the source of all of your health turmoil, is the fact that you're in these super oppressive environments where people are really horrible to you on the regular, and this is a pattern of your life story. So I don't want to dig too deep into that, but where I'm going with this, that when I choose to suppress my emotions because people are horrible to me, my body pays the price. That's kind of the narrative of what's going on with you here.
Yeah, I'm on disability and it's hard to leave. He tells me he'll cancel my health insurance. My IV costs $25,000 a week.
Right. And so right now, like I said, that 1%, that's not going to go away unless you make it change. However, there are steps you can take to make that environment less brutal until in the event that you can get, the help you need to make it a permanent change. But right now, let's work on trying to get your head above water so you can continue to, at least right now, be okay until you can, get to solid ground that you can stand on.
Thank you. You guys are so
You're
amazing.
welcome, honey.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great to have you on the show, Lisa. I know it's been a while, but be sure to go out and leave us a review. That does get you into the raffle for a free Spirit Circle pass. That'll be on the 22nd.
Leave you a heck of a review. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. You take care, and until next time. Okay, then. So we are going to get off to our next caller here, Kayla from area code 570. Are you there with us, Kayla? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you? And I have you all pulled up. So do you have a specific question today?
Okay. Nope, just a general.
Just a general. Okay, all right, got it. Beretta?
All right, Kayla. Yep, let's see. Okay, so as I'm kind of asking, like, what's the skinny? What's going on? I'm getting the impression, I want to hear the words to say, it'll get better. It'll get better. I'm not sure what that's about, but the fact is something's coming up that's going to kind of take over your life, if you will, and take out the mundane. And if that's the part that you're looking at hopefully getting better is the mundane, then that's going to be in your rearview mirror very shortly. It feels to me like you're going to have you've had a lot of obstacles in the past to try to create something that you wanted. Those obstacles are gone. They're absolutely 100% annihilated in the fact that whatever created that annihilated phase is also putting you on a fast track, if you will, to get to where you want to be or have wanted to be for so long. You kind of give up on it because you didn't figure it was ever going to be coming. So I want to say whatever this is about, and I'm really I want to say this is in general. I'm not even sure what direction that this could be pertaining to, but whatever this is about, it's right in front of you. I mean, it's literally right in front of you. I want to say maybe by fall, you will have a better understanding or a clearer picture about what you get to, the steps you get to take that, overcoming all these hurdles has brought you to the place of being able to do the walk, make the steps, make the exercise happen, whatever that is. Is there something specific that you'd hoped for but let go of, or you just worked on all along and just figured, well, I don't know if it's ever going to come to fruition, but I'm just going to keep taking one step in front of the other?
Not that I can really think of at this time.
Okay, Ernesto, can we get a little bit maybe more from you on what's going to take place?
Yeah. So Kayla, are you working right now?
No.
You're not. Are you looking for work?
Not at the moment. No.
Were you laid off?
No. I'm just at home right now with the kids being summertime and that. So. Oh,
okay, I understand. So, the change that I see that's going to be happening with you is, firstly, you're going to have a change of residence. That's going to be coming up. Are you looking for someplace to live right now?
No.
Okay, all right. So if you're not,
But
go ahead.
the current living situation isn't like the best.
Okay, so you're thinking about you're not like actively looking for a place, but if a better situation comes around, you'll jump on that, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's going to come kind of out of the blue. Are you dating currently?
Yes.
You are. Okay. So I think that your living situation is going to come out of the blue, and it's going to be sort of something that you didn't ever see coming, but then you realize, as we were talking at the beginning of the show, oh, what's that? That's new. I never thought about that before, but that might be okay. That sounds all right. I do think it'll just be sort of temporary, though, that it's going to go away pretty soon. But the big thing I would say for you, especially as far as today is concerned, would be to just sort of finding peace in all of the chaos and unrest, because you're going to be going through some changes here, and that's pretty obvious. So my thing I would say is just finding that peace, and also that I do see that you are going to be having some work changes coming up. Like I do think that you are going to be going back to work relatively soon. That'll probably be by the end of the year. And that'll also be another, that'll also give you the means to get yourself into a better living situation than what you're at right now. So, those are sort of the standout things that I can pick up in the chart. And, do you have a follow-up question to that, or is that all making sense?
Yep, that makes sense. About when in my chart did you see the resonance change?
Okay, so taking a look at changing residence, here we go. So that's 7624. And then we have this one, which is 1952. So that's 9616. So that's 4808. Okay, now let's see where we're at. So from there, okay, did you move, I want to say maybe like within the past 6 to 12 months?
No.
You didn't. Okay.
Nope.
All right. So then the move that we're looking at, it's a ways down the turnpike. I want to say that this is going to be, let me look at something here. When does Jupiter hit 12 degrees of a fixed sign? Let's take a look. So that's an Aries. All right, so this would be at 12 degrees of a fixed sign. Oh, no. Okay, great. So, we're looking at like July of 2023, so it is about a year away. That so you still have some time to prepare for that, and I think that you're also going to have some work stuff that's going to be showing up here, so that'll give you the means to be able to get something a lot better than what you think that you deserve or wanted. So you're going to have some opportunities opening up here for you, and really paving the way to get yourself into that life that you've really been looking for. I feel like that you at one point may have had what you think you wanted, but it got ripped away for unknown reasons, or just something that like just was really stupid and shouldn't have happened. And now you're finally starting to regain that control and take it back again. So in another year you're gonna be living your best life. So you have some things to look forward to, but right now you just kind of have to trudge through the mundane and the daily crap, just like that everybody brings to you, and learning to yourself, that I can be a kind person, but I also have walls of steel, and my happiness shield deflects all of your BS 100% of the time.
Mm.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, great. It was awesome to have you on the show, Kayla. Be sure to leave us a review on my website, and that'll get you into the raffle for a free Spirit Circle pass.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
All right, thanks a lot. Have a great day.
You're
Take care.
welcome.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Okay, then. So it looks like that we have gone through everybody in our queue today. So I just wanted to thank everybody for joining us here on the show. And we will be back with you guys on Wednesday. That'll be on the 15th. We'll be back for an hour slot from 7 to 8 p.m. Arizona time. So, Veretta, as always, it was a pleasure. It was great to have you, and I look forward to it. Until next time.
Yes, as well.
All right. Take care and good night.